In a hot grease bath covered in
I'm
bras.
telling you, everything Bodhi is so naughty. I can't even get used to it.
Actually, who came up with that?
Yo ho ho, it's time for the Bodhi Show. Living on the water is the only life we know. Yo ho ho ho, it's time for the Bodhi Show.
We're in it. We are in it. We're in it today.
We're in it.
The music sets the mood. I was asked a question today by Brad, my brother-in-law. I went and visited my brother-in-law Brad and my sister Amy and their son Philip.
I love Brad and Amy. What did they have? What question did they have for you?
Brad said, "What are you going to talk about all winter?"
And you said,
I said, "I don't know, but I'm glad we started this thing in February of last year because that meant we had a bunch of time where we weren't necessarily on the water and like having like recreationally generated content. We actually have to work for our content when we're not in the water."
yeah, we worked really hard.
We worked harder for this today than we've done in a little while. Like we had a whole text thread of topics, and you made notes, and then you interspersed new topics. And I think you put your glasses on in a sort of like an editorial way.
yes.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I sort of put the this I got the studious vibe going here.
And you told me I look professorial. You were like we're both wearing sweaters. That's professorial.
You should tell Brad we're going to talk about sweaters.
Professor, guess what, Brad? We're talking about sweaters. So I want to just like hit unsubscribe until June.
What are you going to talk about all winter? Sweaters.
Sweaters. All right.
I mean, I could actually talk about sweaters all winter. I could talk about curling sweaters for
Yeah.
an hour every week, all winter long.
So what's the deal? Are you going to curl this winter?
Yes. So I have decided that I'm going to join the Gananoque Curling Club, which is a big step.
Yep.
Like join the actual club. Like I'll be a member. I've never done that before. I've only curled in like a walk-in Bonspiel situation. Look at me getting lingo-y.
Walk-in Bonspiel. What's that?
Yeah. Like a one-off tournament.
Okay, thank you.
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a Bonspiel is a tournament.
Yes.
All right.
And so I curl once a year, and you don't really get a lot better, obviously. Not that I care if I'm good at it or not. I just don't want to hurt anyone, or more importantly, hurt the ice. But now I'm going to join the beginners league on Wednesday evenings at the Gananoque Curling Club, and I'll be curling once a week. So stay tuned.
So they must like set it up so that they're definitely going to resurface the ice on Thursday morning.
I think they only well, yeah, you're right. They might repebble it. Yes.
Repebble it. Yeah. I have a good story. My brother-in-law's brother slipped and fell on the ice at the random curling club here in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And he split his head open and bled all over the ice, and they were so angry at him for
so much more worried about the ice than his head.
Yeah, so much more.
I love the level of intensity around the importance of the ice at curling. Like I never would have predicted that.
Yeah.
When I was going into the world of curling.
For those who are wondering why we're talking about curling on a boating podcast, curling happens on ice. Ice is frozen water. Therefore, it is activity on the water.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. We are totally within bounds right now.
Yeah.
And for those that are interested, the pebbling process is when the pebbler, the ice technician, goes out on the ice with a water backpack and sprays, kind of like he has a sun shower, and he lightly sprays the water, this misty water in this pattern all over the ice, and it makes the surface of the ice not flat but bumpy, very small bumps, which is this essential component to how the curling stones move on the rock.
Yep.
Or sorry, on the ice.
Maybe we'll do a remote recording from the curling club.
Well, that's a good idea, because from a sound perspective, it's a really interesting place to be.
Yeah, auditorially.
Because if for no other reason, there's lots of adults screaming the word hard.
Hurry hard.
And hurry hard, yeah. It's pretty good. We'll do it. Now that I have my remote, my own recording equipment, we'll do it.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, where are we today? I am on my back porch in Philadelphia. You are in your...
living room in my house near Fisher's Landing.
Are you sure?
Here at the river. I'm sure. Still here.
Still here because last week you were mostly dead.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. You're right. I'm
So-
alive. Well, I'm interested because I don't know what this means, but it came from you. We're gonna help Amy Beckman with something. I don't know who Amy is.
Yeah, Amy is one of the crew coaches that I crew coach with, and she has a special request for the Bodhi Show community. She has, because I told her about it, she started listening to the podcast, and it's helped her remember many, many, many fond experiences that she had boating on her grandfather's boat. She's reconnected with a cousin that she used to see, like when she would go boating on her grandfather's boat. And
Where does she live?
she lives here in Philadelphia.
Oh, right. She lives there with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just trying to remember for months, like what kind of boat this thing was and the model. And all she has are 10-year-old Amy memories of it. So she wants to really, if she can find the actual boat, that would be awesome. If she can find out any information about the boat after her grandfather sold it, whatever may have happened to it, that would be great. If she can just figure out what the model of the boat is based on listeners' knowledge, then she would be super happy. So I'll read what
do we have to go on?
I'll read that. Side note, can I put out a search on the show for any information regarding my grandfather's boat? I know it's a long shot. I have little information, but it drives me a bit crazy, and while maybe someone is a better sleuth. My only information. Chris Craft, pre-1980, flybridge, fishing boat, left side ladder, right side steering, inside and up top. It was in Port Norris Marina, New Jersey. The boat name at the time, Jark J, Jarc-J, Jark-J. The owner at the time was Richard Robinson, who passed away in 1981. He hired a mate to help, can't remember his name. In the cabin, the head was on the left. There was a built-in seating table. On the right side was a kitchenette. On the right side was the pilot seat. There was blue fabric, white otherwise. There was a sleeping area forward with a hatch above. That's all I remember. Do you think it's a lost cause? I don't think it's a lost cause. She doesn't really remember the length. Again, she was a kid at the time and used to go out on this boat.
That's a good description, though. It's obviously fiberglass, right?
That's my takeaway. She doesn't remember it being wood specifically or fiberglass.
Yeah.
If I recall from my discussions with her.
We're cheersing. Oh, no, we're supposed to cheers microphones. Okay.
We can cheers cheers microphones and our beverages.
Okay, hold on. You said something I didn't understand. Did you say sleeping
area.
area? Okay.
Yeah, up front with a hatch above. Yeah.
Okay. Right. That makes sense. Like a cabin-y thing.
Yeah. So if
We have some listeners in New Jersey.
if anybody in New Jersey or anybody who boated in New Jersey remembers this boat, remembers that person, please reach out. thebodyshow@gmail.com. Also, just if you have any sense of what model of Chris Craft that might be, it'd be great to hear. Yeah. Like there was a bunch of cruisers back then that they made of varying layouts and sizes and shapes. Like the Commander models is one of those. And so if you got ideas, shoot us email and maybe we can try and help Amy out. That was the first topic. We're going to try and help Amy out. Richard Robinson.
I love that. That's a very cool use of this community. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, I think just seasonally, since it is just a few days before Thanksgiving, I think we should talk about why that was on the list.
Oh, I just thought we should express what we're grateful for.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week. We're recording this on Sunday. Folks are listening to it on Wednesday. Maybe when they're road tripping to wherever they're headed for Thanksgiving to visit family.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good idea. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll start and then you round it up. I'm grateful for my family and my friends who might as well be family. I am grateful for my relative health. And by relative, I mean relative to Stephanie.
As all things should be measured by.
I have been mostly dead for like 6 weeks. Grateful for that.
Congratulations! I'm so happy for you.
I'm grateful for, I'm really grateful for my brain and that it works well and I can do stuff with it because I've been writing lately and that's been, I feel like in some ways I'm writing for the first time because I want to, not because I have to, and it feels good.
Writing for fun is cool.
Yeah. What else am I grateful for? I am grateful for all of the people who have designed and constructed pleasure boats, often at great financial loss to themselves. And that there's been this thing that's been part of my life for just about all of it. That is having adventures on the water. I'm grateful that I never have had to really like fight for safety or to make a living at sea. I'm reading another book about Iceland right now, and I'm like, oh geez, it's really hectic out there.
Yeah.
So that's a bunch of gratitude.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That makes sense. I'm going to start with gratitude for the joy that this podcast particularly has brought into my life, and I know into yours as well. But that's, for the people that listen, the people that respond, and the people that reach out, but also just the fun of doing it. So I'm grateful for that. And then my other one that I want to say is kind of a combination and connected to the podcast too, which is I've been thinking about my dad. I'm going to visit him in the Hudson Valley for Thanksgiving. He's a chemistry professor, but he has a very specific take on learning that I learned from him, which is that if you don't understand something, it's not because you're dumb, it's because you just don't know yet, and you should always ask. And he's a chemist, and I was a chemistry major. But what I learned from him wasn't about chemistry, it was about always, always asking. And I've been thinking about that a lot because I've been doing a lot of new things, and I've been expressing what I've done, like the content of the work that I've done over my career. It all has to do with asking for help and asking for asking for input, and when you don't know, and the joy of learning new things that way. And so that's something that you and I do in this podcast a lot as well. So I'm hooking it up to that because for me, I'm very grateful for a mindset that I learned from my dad that has been with me my entire life, and it makes my life better.
That's awesome. That's some really good gratitude. That's some very reflective, in-depth, good, solid gratitude. I like it. That's good. Also,
I'm excited for Thanksgiving.
Here's the Thanksgiving topic. Tell us about the call you got from B and how you're gonna in a way participate in a boaty, islandy Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah. I'm super excited about this. So it's on Tuesday, which is too late for me to grab audio and connect it into the podcast. So
maybe you could grab audio for the following week.
Yeah, maybe I can with my new equipment. Yeah. But our friend B. Northington, who people might remember from the Mid-River episode, she's coming up with her family. They're going back out to Mid-River.
What's Mid-River? Mid-River is a house on Grindstone Island. Yep.
And their friends Gil and Mitch, their relatives Gil and Mitch so they're going to RJ Marine, and they're getting on a boat, and they're getting, ferried out to Grindstone. And it was the only time that I would be able to see her, because I don't have boats in the water either. So I'm going to just jump on the boat with them and ride out there with some champagne, and then ride back with RJ Marine to Clayton and take a boat ride and see my friends. And I can't wait. It'll be fun.
That's awesome. Ryan told me that they're probably going to take the landing craft because it seemed easier to just drive onto the boat and drive off the boat, and rather than spend all the time loading and unloading and doing this and doing that. So yeah, that was the plan when I saw him out at Mid-River last month sometime.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm very excited about it. I can't wait. I'll definitely try to gather something that we can use.
Yeah, even if you just use the field recorder, the 2 stereo mics, which is mic 2, and you put the dead cat on there, and you get some of the ambient sounds and of the boat ride.
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so that's also Thanksgiving.
That's some related. Thanksgiving boaty stuff. All right,
Thanksgiving boaty stuff, side project. Yeah, field trip.
That is now officially makes this a Thanksgiving episode.
It is time now for me to surprise you with an Admiral's Choice. Don't know if it really counts because it's a boat that you know. But I don't think that matters. I'm submitting it as Admiral's Choice anyway because
you can do whatever the hell you want.
It's hot.
It's your podcast.
And I'm sending it to you.
All right.
It's a little video that you can watch.
It was a video of you focused in on the word Steiger on the side of a boat, and then you stepped back through the leaves because the boat's on a trailer in a driveway, and that driveway is Katie and Brian's driveway, and you pull back. The boat comes into frame. It's a Steiger craft, which is a cool fiberglass, like fishing, like throwdown workboat with a cabin up front, a cockpit out back. It's an inboard outboard, and it's probably 20 feet.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
a little more. 21?
21, yeah, 20, 22 feet. It's a lot of boat in a small package, and it's kind of like like a really solid utility cruiser. And then you say hot, and then you flash over to Katie who's laughing.
I also think that picking up on a thread from last week, I think you could do some what's the word? Patrolling in that boat.
That is a good patrol boat. So it's owned
Don't you
by,
think?
yeah, totally, which is not surprising because it's owned by Brian, who's retired as a like senior chief bosun's mate or a chief bosun's mate from the Coast Guard, which is the senior most enlisted person typically deployed in the Coast Guard. There may be like the master chief. He may be a master chief bosun's mate, but Brian is the most nautically capable person that I could imagine.
And I also you're right. He's super knowledgeable.
He's also like completely unassuming about it. You wouldn't know it. And so this is his boat, and he and Kate, they patrol. They straight up patrol in that.
Thank God they're out there.
Yeah.
It's such a hot boat though.
Was it last year? It was 2 years ago when they had a scavenger hunt clue where Brian brought a bow and arrow, like a compound bow and some arrows out to Grindstone, and it was the one. I think it was the one you planned, so maybe it was longer than 2 years. But we had to try and shoot an old. I think it was an old life jacket that was over on the shore from the dock. Anyway, that's a random memory. That's what random memory because it was raining. Kate and Brian Brian wasn't so much inside, but Kate and somebody else were like up in the cabin of the Steiger craft.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
I like it. You picked it out for me. It's an Admiral's choice.
I did. I think you need it. Maybe you don't need it, but I thought you would appreciate it.
Oh, I very much appreciate it. I would rock that boat. I would take that boat from you, and I would put some sort of rack on it so that I could put like kayaks and paddle boards and stuff up top, and I would take it places that were pretty far away, or I'd do some more camp cruising on it. I'd put canvas over the back, and I'd be able to sleep in the cockpit. That would be good. Mm-hmm. It'd be a really good adventure boat. Yeah.
I think it's delightful too.
It might be a boat that I need for like keeping down here on the Jersey coast somewhere.
I mean, I know what's really happening in your brain, which is all you're doing is trying to figure out how you're going to do that because you already own the red boat that we talked about, the Bertram from last week.
Well, that's a boat for a whole different purpose.
Exactly. There's no competition there.
That boat raced from
additive.
Miami to Nassau, and so that's what I would do it. That boat was
okay.
Well, that wasn't an Admiral's choice. That was boat of the week. It's very different.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, just making sure. I thought your brain was like, well, but I already just got a new boat. Because I figured that's what you did in the last week since we talked is you drove up and bought the red boat and brought it back.
No, I wouldn't have done that without you. Patrick found a blue one for sale in Clayton. Patrick found a blue one.
Blue what?
He found a blue Bertram Baron for sale in Clayton.
Really?
For more money than the one that's in the place that I'm not going to mention because I don't want anybody else to buy it.
How much more money?
It was 19,000 more. It was like listed for 49.
Where is it in Clayton?
I'm not telling you. I'm definitely not telling the listeners. Patrick found it, so Patrick's probably going to buy it. That's fine. I'd go for a ride in Patrick's Bertram.
Well, yeah, exactly. Great. That works for us too. Okay.
Patrick. No, you know what? I was going to tell you what Patrick texted me this week, but I think what happens in the text thread between me and Patrick when it comes to boats stays in the text thread between me and Patrick when it comes to boats.
I think that's probably a wise decision.
Yeah, because his wife listens to this also, and she.
This little bro code there, or boat code. Well, I think it's time for you to tell the listeners about the fact that we received our first snail mail as the Boaty Show.
We got a thank you note from Liam, who we sponsored in the stock outboard races at Crystal Lake, and that was really nice of him. Yeah, straight up.
How old is he?
14.
Awesome.
Maybe going on 15, but he we covered the entry fee for one of his races, and in consideration for, which we did in consideration for him putting a Boaty Show sticker on his boat, like along with, AMSOIL or whatever other stickers he has on the boat.
Yeah.
Which was pretty exciting. And he sent us a thank you note, and it came addressed to the Boaty Show. So that was cool. Like we haven't gotten
Yes.
mail before.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So he's a boat racer, and
We have some guests here. You have to put your headphones on.
Mary Jane.
Stephanie, what's up? Happy Thanksgiving.
That's your microphone, Hannah. I'm bringing you up. You should be able to speak.
This one's for me.
Hey
Yeah.
guys.
Hey.
Hi, Steph.
Hi. I can't see Hannah.
No.
We're just.
There she is. Hi. You guys look so good.
Thank you.
Both look like Princess Leia
Oh, really? Oh,
because the headphones. Yeah.
I was like, with their
Really
hair,
nice.
they have their hair in like top knots.
But we don't look like sisters. No.
No,
forget.
it's a boating podcast, so duh. We were
So we
talking.
talk about sweaters.
Talking about curling,
The sport? The sport?
the sport curling.
Yeah.
Steph is an aspiring amateur curler.
that's
Do you play all the positions, or are you the
It's a really
Skater,
good- that's a really good
brusher.
question.
Can we get a breakdown? Like, if you're an aspiring amateur curler, can we get a breakdown of the role, like the positions? The
sure.
rules?
You ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Or do you play the
I do
hippie
know-
rules to curling?
I know some things.
Yeah.
The way it works is so to Hannah's question, yeah, you do everything. Everybody does everything.
Okay.
The only thing is the skip, who is the captain. He's like the captain, kind of tells everybody what to do. Like you're with the 4 people on each.
Yep.
And so there's always one person throwing the rock, one person telling them where to put it, and then 2 people sweeping. And you rotate those positions through.
Oh, cool.
And the names of those positions are like skip, and then like what's the second one? Something, and then like first and second or something like that. So it goes like that, and then
Thing 1 and thing 2.
what?
Thing 1 and thing 2.
But yeah, so that's the deal. So I do all of those things, but not
Is it-
terribly well.
Is it cold while you're curling, like an ice rink?
It's like an ice rink,
Okay.
yes. So it's like chilly, but the thing about curling that you wouldn't expect is that you get it's like a lot of work, especially the sweeping.
Sweeping. I was gonna say.
Yeah, it like kind of kicks your ass.
And the throwing the stone, because you go into a deep lunge when
Yeah.
you do it.
Does that take a lot of balance
You
too?
lunge and you kind of slide while you're lunging, right?
Yeah.
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 And you're constantly
very balancing.
you're constantly stabilizing yourself, so it really works your core as if you were sitting on a dock.
My other favorite type of exercise.
There was.
You're training for it by wearing your weighted vest. So what I like about the weighted vest is you're like, I really hate walking. So if I wear a weighted vest, I don't have to walk as much.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that obviously
Yes.
why you have the mask,
That's-
so that you can cut
but you
down
got-
on the amount of miserable? Yeah.
We're
you can
all
do less
just-
exercise.
You're
and
trying
get
to
more credit.
convince yourself that exercise is
She got a 30-pound weighted vest to start. I talked to my doctor. He's like, yeah, you don't want to start with more than 5, maybe 8 pounds.
30 pounds, Stephanie. Jeez.
I don't know. I
That's
didn't know what I was
hardcore.
doing. That's
No,
what happens
that's-
when you go on the Amazon.
Get bearing buddies with bras. I was driving around laughing about that the other day. I was like, oh my god, they called the dust covers for the bearing buddies bras, and we also did not even actually talk about what the hell a bearing buddy is or what it
I
does.
still don't know what a bearing buddy is.
Me neither.
And I bet
Nope.
do you ladies know what it is? No,
No.
nobody knows what that is. Go ahead, Jeff. Please
Nobody.
tell us.
All right. So when you have a wheel on a trailer that goes underwater, right? The hub, which contains bearings that help the wheel spin around the spindle of the axle, right? When that goes underwater, it ends up under pressure, right? Even if it's just a foot or 2 underwater. So the water can infiltrate the bearings and then hang out in there, rust them. The bearings fail. The hub falls off the spindle and or catches on fire because it's not working. Listen, why are you talking so much?
Get her a mic.
Go away.
Get Lilo a mic. She has things to say.
What?
This is such a mess. You're going to have to do so much editing. Or just start this whole segment over.
That's a future. This is what the great thing about recording is that all of the fun stuff is like a future Jeff problem.
Yeah.
So the water pushes into the bearings and it hangs out there. So what the bearing buddy is it's like a spring-loaded syringe that you stick on the end of the hub and you fill it full of grease. And the spring the spring on the syringe bit, like basically keeps the grease under pressure so that it fills every last little gap, and that pressure from the spring pushing this plunger on the grease that's inside the hub, because the hub's full of grease, like the bearings roll around in a bath of grease. It's like a syringe that basically keeps pressure on the grease that resists the
so gross.
the pressure of the water coming in, so you don't get water infiltrating your bearings.
Did you see me slowly dissociating and reassociating while you were explaining something?
I was
I
thinking
saw it.
about what it would feel like to be in a grease bath. And I can't.
You and absolutely everyone else.
Hannah, you looked interested.
I was, because I was thinking about it, and then you kept saying
Grease bath.
grease bath.
A plunger of grease,
Yeah.
maintaining
that's-
pressure on the
What did
grease
you
bath.
think of the
Very,
grease
it was a
bath?
very good description, but like,
I
Wow, that's a
reassociated
lot,
at the
like-
end. So what is the?
Why do you want to ask me questions if you're going to dissociate?
It's kind of how
let
this
me
works.
let me rehash it for MJ. It's basically like, all right, so there's like ball bearings. You know what those are?
Yes.
I barely do, but we do, right?
Yes.
And so this thing is a spring-loaded syringe of grease,
Right.
that goes over the middle and like keeps pushing grease into the ball bearings. So
And
that
the
the
bra?
fact that they're always
I was
getting
gonna say,
wet
where did
over-
the-
and now what's the bra? It's
Yeah.
a great
No,
question.
no. Stephanie, you were on the roll. Would you repeat that description, please?
Well, just
I got it.
repeat it. Do you want me to repeat it?
No, we were good.
All right, yeah, but the whole point is that the pressure pushing down on the grease is greater than the pressure of the water when the hub is underwater.
Yeah.
Water can't get in.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, you're not dissociated
what's
now.
the-
You're
what's
like,
the-
Bra.
That.
yeah. So the
Bra?
so the outside of the bearing buddy is just open, and you have to put a cover over it. I mean, I usually don't have covers on my bearing buddies because the cover falls off when I'm towing the trailer, and
Does
I'm
the
like, all right,
grease
whatever.
just like leak out then?
No, it's all sealed up. It's all sealed up.
That's happening.
That's what I was thinking
on-
too. I was thinking that this grease bath sounds bad for the river.
Yes, me too.
No, it's also there are rubber seals that keep the grease from coming out, and the whole point is that the pressure on the grease is not greater than what the seals can keep in.
Okay. Is this on our trailers?
Yeah, we got bearing buddies in all our trailers.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just where under the
The hub, the
Under
center
the
of
hubcap.
the center of the wheel. Yeah,
in there. Do you have
Yeah.
to refill it?
yeah.
the gre-
Well, you don't have to fill it as much because if your seals are good, then are you gonna go let the dog in? All right. She's moaning.
Poor baby.
She's just a big baby pit bull that needs to get what she wants.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if your seals fail, the grease can come out. But the point is that this keeps everything in equilibrium stasis, so that you have
Equilibrium stasis.
grease under pressure enough that it pushes against the water pressure, which otherwise would want to come in past the seals into the grease, and that means that everything stays cool and kosher when you're towing.
That's great.
The covers go over the outside of these things. They don't call them dust covers on Amazon. They call them bras,
Bearing bras.
bearing buddy bras.
Bearing buddy bras.
Which is a lot of alliteration.
Yeah.
And also very confusing combination of words. Now we
Yeah.
have syringes, grease baths, bras. I mean, I don't know quite how to process all of this information.
And it's in the wheel of your trailer.
Yeah.
for people who really care about their trailers. I mean, I can assure you I do not have bearing buddies on my trailer.
You might, but I doubt there's any grease in them, and there certainly won't be any bras on them.
Well, I feel like that was some really hot content. We just
Yeah,
waded
seriously.
through.
Yeah.
We went
like a hot
from
grease bath
we went from
content.
Hot grease bath.
Throw it-
bras.
we went from throwing the stone so you could hurry hard.
Balls in a hot grease bath covered in bras.
I'm telling you, everything Bodhi is so naughty. I can't even get used to it.
Actually, who came up with that?
And we didn't
I
know
feel
that.
like I don't feel like we introduced our guests. I mean, maybe they need no introduction.
You didn't introduce
Ladies and gentlemen, the dynamic duo who need no introduction, my daughter, MJ, and her lover, Hannah.
You can say girlfriend.
I could say girlfriend.
Do you guys have any Bodhi topics that you could tell us about today?
I spent the past
Or
week
sweaters.
in a bit of a Bodie area in St. Mary's, Maryland, there for the week.
Cool.
The campus was right along the St. Mary's River, and they had some docks that were part of the campus that had sailboats and kayaks. I saw the sailing team out.
Nice.
Felt very rivery to be that close to the water.
What were
Went
you
to-
doing there?
I was working there for the week at the college.
Tell us about what you do.
I right now I'm working as a fellow for a food service company called Bon Appetit Management.
Not the magazine.
Not the magazine, womp womp. So as a fellow for them, I travel around to different colleges and campuses and do some educational engagement surrounding their like sustainability practices and generally sustainability on college campuses and around food service.
You had a whole interesting conversation with Missy this morning about St. Mary's interest in food waste composting, which is a subject near and dear to your heart, my heart, and Missy's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We heart compost.
We heart compost.
Yeah.
That sounds very cool, and it sounds like it was full of Bodie scenery.
Yes. It felt nice to be around the Bodie scene.
I bet it was down easty too. Was there a lot of down easty looking boats, like lobstery looking boats? Mm-hmm. I love that stuff.
I didn't see too many lobstery looking boats. I did drive by one. I don't know if it was a house or a garage, but it had a few boats out, some like tractors and a bunch of random stuff, and it looked like it would be a fun playground for you, Jeff.
Oh, that sounds like we should hang out, whoever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a Bodie food truck.
What?
I sent you guys
Oh,
the
that's
picture of
right.
that. Yeah,
That's
that
what
was
we should
my
talk
favorite
about.
thing that I saw all
Tell
week.
us a whole bunch more
What
about
does that mean?
I was going out to dinner alone, as I do when I'm on these trips, which is something new that's fun. But I pulled into this parking lot and I saw it was a food truck, and then right next to it, it looked like a boat that was just on a trailer. And then I was like, wait, no, that's the front kind of goes into just a food truck. And I could only see one side of it. So I pulled over and took a picture as I was leaving and sent it to the Pennington group chat.
What is what kind of food were they selling?
I think it's seafood related. They weren't open when I was there. They was just parked off to the side like they were closed.
Was it on a trailer so it looked like it could be actively a boat?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wait.
So it probably during the warm months goes out as a
No, I believe it was on a trailer, like it gets towed around.
right.
Like I don't think it drives itself as a food truck, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, but if could the boat?
The boat cannot function as a boat.
Oh,
That's upsetting.
The shape of the food truck was that of a boat.
That market really has yet to be tapped, I feel.
of a Bodie food truck.
Bodie food truck. We've talked about it a lot. How
We
that
have talked about it a lot.
is like an untapped market for entrepreneurship
So
on
a
the
boat.
water.
You mean? Oh, I thought you were speaking about putting a boat on a trailer and making the whole thing into a food truck.
No, we've talked a lot about like hot dog truck,
Hot dog boat.
breakfast sandwiches,
Hot dog boat. Breakfast sandwich boat.
something on a boat that drives around to pleasure boats and sells food on the weekend.
It's kind of amazing to me how much I want to do it in the winter and how little I want to do it in the summer.
Wait, very
I don't
true.
understand it.
We've talked
I don't
because we've
understand
talked about
why.
it since I was like 4.
I know, and right now it seems like such a good idea. I cannot understand what I did with my summer and why it wasn't that.
and why it wasn't that.
We need to
What were we doing?
make a list of all the things that seem like a great idea in the winter.
And
Yeah.
as a job, you can drive a boat around, like essentially
I think
pleasure
we
boating
need to
yourself.
commit right now. I think we need to make a commitment to the fact that
What
we
if-
need to do this
We could
at least.
we could do
3
like
Saturdays
we could do
in
like a
July.
low maintenance version of it where a crew of us hop on the houseboat and you get
Yeah,
some
the houseboat
like
chef.
you get some breakfast sandwich assembly line and we put up a big we draw out a sign and we put up a big sign and then we just pull into Bathtub Bay and we go around Wellesley and we pull into the backside of Wellesley wherever like where all the people
I think we
park.
just start. I think we start at the foot of Picton, where all the sailboats and
Yes.
the big, where all the boats kind of like the boats stay overnight.
Yeah.
So we hit that in the morning with the breakfast sandwiches, and then we go around to the foot of Picton and make hamburgers and hot dogs
Yep.
in the
So
afternoon.
smart. So smart.
And we'll probably make like $1,000 in one day.
yeah.
And
we
then,
probably
but like
would.
we have, so like let's commit to doing it 2 Saturdays in July.
Okay.
Next
yeah.
year.
I'll crew that boat. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We should, and then the only thing we should probably do is we should get a square because people don't always have cash.
I have a square.
No.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a
Perfect.
square. I know how to use it.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we got this handled now so that we don't have to wonder whether or not we're doing it for the rest of the winter.
So you
Check.
just to be clear, you're putting a marker down in front of me and the Bodie Show universe.
Yes.
That you're gonna do you're gonna do breakfast sandwich and or hot dog, hamburger,
Yep.
houseboat.
Steph, Hannah, and I are going to chef. We're going to go out on the
We're
boat.
gonna do it.
On the
We're going to
houseboat.
make $1,000 in one day,
Okay.
Yeah, we're
and
gonna do
then
it.
split it.
Ladies
It's
and
gonna
gentlemen.
it's gonna be totally illegal, just so everyone's
Yeah,
aware.
yeah.
Oh, is that illegal?
No.
Yeah.
No.
If anybody's from any sort of food service, inspection, or licensing function, please contact me so that we can work a little baksheesh out on the side. That's a
I
fancy
think if
word
you're
for
from,
we're going to bribe you to leave us
I think if
alone.
you're from
MJ, play it cool.
a food service or food management industry, don't contact us. Actually,
No.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But
Close your ears.
I'd rather hear you want to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So if there's somebody from like but like what if you like
because-
straddle the border and then you're in a very legally ambiguous situation and the border patrol doesn't care about hot dog, they probably want a hot dog.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, they might care about hot dogs.
That's an interesting
We got.
new angle.
Can I talk about a border situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, we were not allowed to cross into Canadian waters.
True.
And
Dark days.
yeah, it was dark days, and we were heading over from Wellesley Island over to like our cliff jumping spot in the state park. And I went over the border to avoid a shoal, and I knew I was over the border. And a border patrol saw us and pulled us over, and we were all wearing masks because it was dark days, pandemic times. It was just an interesting interaction that was very unique to the pandemic and unique to boating over the border because, I mean, I was like, I'm sorry, I crossed the border. I knew I was in Canadian waters, but I was just going around that shoal. We're going right back into U.S. waters, and they asked about why we were all wearing masks, and we were just being COVID conscious, and they asked where we were from, and I was like, Philadelphia, and they were like, why are you here? Like, it was
Wow, yeah.
it was a weird pandemic moment.
Yeah. So it was the Canadian authorities, right?
Yeah, it was Canadian Border Patrol.
Yeah,
Were they generally cool?
Yeah, they were super cool. It was a group of kids. I think that they were just like, just so you know, can't be in Canadian waters
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Get back
Yeah,
over to
that
your
was
side,
such a-
essentially.
Such a weird time, wasn't
yeah,
it?
right?
I'm so glad it's over.
And so I'm curious, were they just patrolling Canadian, like you weren't even allowed to pleasure boat on the Canadian side?
True.
Right.
You weren't allowed to cross the imaginary line. We joke about there being a line painted on the bottom of the river so
Yeah.
you can know where it is. The only place I've ever seen the water marked there was a buoy crossing from Lake Champlain into the Richelieu River. There was a buoy that said, "This is the Canadian border."
Yeah.
And that pandemic restriction from Canada was you couldn't even cross the imaginary line. And if you did, they could hit you with a $750,000 fine.
Whoa.
What?
Yep.
So we could have gotten fined for being in Canadian
Yeah.
waters.
I don't know if it was up to 750 or it was like, bam, like,
I've never heard of a fine a number like that.
They were generally cool, but they were like, "Yep, you got to get back over the border."
Right.
They
Can't
were
be here."
serious,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were like not kidding around. They were like, "Yep, get back over the border."
yeah. Luckily, they probably knew the shoal that was there, so they knew you were being.
Yeah, I was being genuine about my.
Oh yeah, that's right. That thing.
I also
that whole pandemic happened.
they pulled me over and I turned off the GPS really quick just so they didn't know that I could literally see
See the border.
the border.
Right.
Like I
right.
covered it up really quick. 'Cause
That's
then I was
my
like,
girl.
Oh yeah, like
So-
we're going around Wellesley. I don't know where the border. I'm sorry. I figured I was on the right side, but I was going around that shoal.
I'm so proud of you, honey. as we've moved into you being an adult and me being an adult parent,
Yes.
I've learned how truly shady you are.
She's sneaky
Well, it's-
about it. She's
It's easy
sneaky.
to play it up because I'm like,
Everybody's like, "Oh, Mary Jane's so nice. She's so put together. She has a blah blah figured out." I'm like, "Oh my god, she's so shady."
I just lied to the border patrol about my intentions. But
Yeah, if
Don't
you're
know
from the
about-
Border Patrol and are listening,
don't listen.
this is Mary Jane
Smith,
Smith.
It's Mary John.
Mary John.
Mary John Smith, unaffiliated with the Bodhi Show or any of its
Unaffiliated.
constituents. Do you have a list of topics? Are we just like interrupting you right now?
Oh, right. Yeah, we do have topics. Would you like to hear a topic?
Yeah, can we have
Steph's running the show. She's got the next topic.
can we have a topic?
Before the topic,
I have my list that I didn't tell Jeff about, but we can jump in on this one.
Okay.
I was like, I've been thinking about travel, like places that I want to go,
we were just,
which is usually a list of places where there's water,
Right.
just
Yeah.
different water.
Different
So,
water.
anyone traveling anywhere sometime soon? Or later in the winter?
I just made plans
Where are you going?
on Sunday. and Missy doesn't even know this. On Sunday,
live reaction.
Missy and I are going to Brooklyn to visit Stefan and Anna.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yay.
and Stefan and I are going to go out like on a canoe on like the Gowanus Canal, which is top 5 most polluted body of water in the world.
Ooh.
And we're going to check out the waterfront scene in like basically hard-bitten industrial sections of Brooklyn.
I've been really intrigued by industrial and boating and shipping lately. I was driving along the whole, like pretty much the whole East Coast from Colby to Boston, and you can see all of like the shipping scenes.
Yeah.
Super interesting how like all of these waterways go right through the city.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that we interact with in and around water is like you swim in it and it's pretty and it's protected,
Yep.
but there's a lot of just straight up industrial water
Yeah.
that has been completely taken over by the shipping industry, and there's no effort to make it.
I want to weigh in on that because, like, I'll just tell you this story. When I used to work at Save the River, and we worked on a lot of issues that were shipping related,
yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
And so, because the shipping channel goes through the Thousand Islands, obviously our communities are really invested in making sure that we minimize the impacts, et cetera, because we're trying to protect, like you said, our very, beautiful and recreationally important blah, blah area. But when we used to work on Great Lakes issues, we had a really hard time finding partners at the local level that were going to work with us because all of those waterways were exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
They'd already were kind of gone. They'd already been kind of converted into something that was so industrial that
Right.
people didn't recognize it as something that needed to be protected anymore.
Yeah.
And so there are not that many communities that are organized around protection because of the industrial presence, which I think was super interesting. Like people would just be like, why?
Like driving the bridge over the Delaware River when you're coming into Philly, it looks like a highway.
Yeah.
You look down and that does not look like a natural body of water. It doesn't look anything like the river does. It looks
Right.
like a highway. It's lined with ports and freighters and like all of the machinery that comes along with it, and the river is black.
And I have the same reaction that you do to it. Like there's the piece that I get sad for the river sometimes, but seeing the industrial watery boaty stuff can be so cool too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so enjoyable to look at. I remember when I used to live in San Francisco and we'd go through the Oakland area and they were making propellers that went on ships and they were like, they were like 40 feet tall or something.
Crazy.
It was just like the scale was so amazing, and like I can really enjoy that stuff visually, I feel like.
Right.
But
it's something that
when
we're
you-
so separate from too. Like you see trucks on the highway right next to you shipping things, like, but the whole shipping on the water, it's like that is not anything that's publicly owned. Like you don't get access to that. Like
I hope to actually talk to people more about that whole world and learn about it. Yeah.
it feels so foreign. It's these
Right.
giant machines, giant ships, giant propeller. The river is not public property, really. Nobody's swimming, nobody's boating.
Yeah.
That's right.
But then I feel like our river is unique in that it kind of like the shipping kind of shares the road with the pleasure boaters.
The balance is different.
Like
Like
we've-
it's our river, and they're just going by.
Yeah.
Like there is just a little bit theirs, but it's mostly ours.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's flipped most in a lot of urban areas, right?
Yeah, in all the urban areas,
Yeah.
the water is.
Do you remember
belongs to the
taking
industry.
the whaler out on the Delaware when you were a kid?
I do,
Yeah.
like very vaguely.
Yeah. So when we first got the whaler put together for a couple of years, it was either here during the winter or it was when I was working on it a lot off season, and we would go down and launch it in the Delaware and then go cruise the ports. And
Yeah,
because it's such a highway and there's almost no pleasure boating, just about every time we went and in multiple places while we went, some sort of like law enforcement person would come up to us and be like, okay, what's going on here? What's this all about? I was like, oh, you got some little kids?
you have some little kids in the shipping industry area.
But we would nose into the like slipways. The USS or the USS United States is a really significant sort of late in the game passenger freighter that I think it set the transatlantic speed record.
Whoa.
And then it was taken over for World War II for transport, and then I don't think it went back into passenger service after that, or if it did briefly. But it's down there. We went down and like checked it out. We went up close to it and touched it, and I like going to those places and just sort of checking out the backside of it. When I was a kid, we would boat to Boston's Inner Harbor, which had just been redeveloped. Really, like it had been pretty hammered and not recreational place, and then there was a bunch of redevelopment money put into it. There's an aquarium there and a mall and a food court and all this stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to pull people to the waterfront, and that was in the 80s, which is like when I think when a lot of that started. And boating up whatever the river is to get there, you're going past like sugar factories and like tire piles and all this crazy stuff. And then you get there and it's like kind of still, it's recreational, but like not on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of that waterfront, like factories and old mills and stuff are abandoned now too.
Yeah.
It's like post-industrial waterfront.
Montreal is a cool place to see this, where it kind of merges with the city. There's some old and some new, some old and some new, and the old may still be functioning, and it's definitely merged with the new. And then the new, the industrial part that's like downriver from the city proper is very industrial. Like Walker and I cruised through there, and there was a grain ship unloading, and there was like crazy grain dust, like a fog of grain dust in the water that was getting blown out from it. So it smelled like kind of like weird flour.
Yeah.
And like coat the back of your throat coffee. And but it was interesting, like seeing Walker react to that. He's like, "This is not the river."
It's so different.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different ecosystem.
And then a friggin' hovercraft went past. Like the Canadian Coast Guard has a hovercraft, and the thing went. Yeah. I was very excited. I have probably too many videos of it.
As a plug for a future Bodhi show that we're going to make happen, my boss in the mailroom at Colby, she's like local Mainer, lived there forever. Her husband is an engineer on tugboats that push oil barges in New Orleans and Mississippi. We're going to get him on the show.
Awesome. I'm going to come up to Colby and we're going to try and talk to him.
Yes.
Come out to Maine and we're going to try and talk.
We're going to make it happen. He already said that he would.
Hey.
So that's going to be a good, I think, front row seat to like,
that
he's
world.
working in the engine room on ships that are pushing barges.
Yeah.
Oof.
And my friend Sam works, he's an engineer. He went to Maine Maritime Academy.
Hinkley?
Nope. Yeah. Sam Diston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I don't know about last names on these shows.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can bleep it out.
Bleeping is fun.
Hey, even better.
Sam's an engineer. He used to work on tugs, like out on
Say
the.
some curse words so you can bleep them. Okay.
He used to work on tugs down in the coast of Texas and maybe oil platform support boats. And now he's working as an engineer on an, which it might be top secret. I don't know. So maybe I'll bleep all of that out.
One long bleep.
This episode is going to get flagged for a lot of different things.
By national security.
Balls and grease baths and bras and
illegal hot dog boat.
Secret, illegal hot dog boat. Illegal border crossing. I don't know.
Basically, just the whole show's illegal. It's great.
If you
Bodhi Show confessional.
we got to plug the big Bodhi mix, or is it too early?
Oh,
That's secret.
that's a topic on the list.
Oh, the album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
can you
this
talk
is a
about
little
it?
different than the album. This
is part of it.
It's part of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for those listening out there who are familiar, Two Friends is like a DJ mix band that puts out these big booty mixes, which are like an hour and a half long, and it's essentially like mixes together whatever music is popular then.
And if you're an old and busted person like me from the 80s, there was this thing called Stars on 45. Which was like the original Big Booty mix.
Well, and they'll do some throwbacks too in the mixes, and they do a lot of like they throw in sound bites from like popular TV shows at the time or news clips or things like that. And so I thought that you should make a Big Booty mix, which is kind of a play on the Big Booty mix, which is just a mix of all of our favorite dance music, your generation's favorite dance music, and then some sound bites from the podcast and some sound bites from boating itself.
I was thinking more original dance music.
Oh.
And I would call it the Big Bodie mix, but I was going to make original dance music.
Okay.
Original EDM.
Can you do like a
Walker said he wanted to get a DJ
freighter
setup.
horn?
You want a freighter horn, Mary Jane?
Yeah. Well, no, what I really want is I want Helen's engine revving and the brum, brum, and then into like a time for the Bodhi show. Whatever.
You guys
We
are
can mix in
speaking my language.
the new war chant too.
Yeah.
We went and saw Red One, the movie Red
Dad
One
hated
yesterday.
it.
I didn't hate it. I enjoyed the whole movie going experience, mostly because like I got bored and started doing inappropriate and juvenile things.
He started punching me and throwing
You started that.
caramel corn at
I
my
just got a
face.
few pieces of caramel corn.
Good thing we sat in the back because
Yeah.
we were causing a scene.
The thing I am both most and least proud of is that I pulled your hair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hold
Playing
on.
hard.
What?
Let's go
Oh,
back.
the album.
So-
No?
We're doing. What are we doing? We're so. All right. I have here are two ideas. I want to ask Mary Jane a clarifying question about her idea. In your idea of the Big Boaty Mix, would all the songs be boat themed,
Yes.
or they're just fun dance music?
I think that it should be submissions that have lines about boats or boating.
Or
There
rivers.
should be
Or
there should be a boating
rivers.
connection to the songs.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like entirely nautically themed popular music, dance music, 80s music.
All right. Well,
But you
I
just sample-
really like this idea.
Because a lot of songs will have like a line or something about the river or the water, and then you just sample that bite and put it in.
Yeah. Over a driving dance beat.
I also like your idea, Jeff. I just don't. I've never made music before, but
Neither have I.
But I think I think that we're all learning all kinds of new things. So why not?
Does Jay
make
Nash
our
know
own
that he's
original dance music?
Being
That's a great
recruited
idea.
to do this.
No, this is the part that he this is the part that he is not as interested in. However, he is happy to participate and produce and assist. The part that he is
He is
interested in
the album.
is that this is the world premiere announcement, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to produce a Bodhi Show album, a 5-song EP extended play album. And we are going to actually raise money to do this through a Kickstarter. So everybody can have the opportunity to participate in it. And the money will fund the writing, recording, production, album art, release, and to some extent these ideas for dance mixes.
I was gonna say, if the Kickstarter's funding the album and the production of new music, I think the Kickstarter should include, when you give a donation, you have the opportunity to submit a Bodhi song segment or a soundbite from the podcast that you want to be included on the Big Bodhi Mix. So it's a combination of whoever donated to the Kickstarter's idea of what,
nominate some sound,
and then we spend time
making a
combining
mix.
all of those bites into a mix, so it's kind of like the public feeds the Bodhi mix.
That's a great idea, Mary Jane. That is now happening.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you heard it here
Mary
first.
Jane, can you introduce Hannah, because she didn't get introduced?
Yes.
That's like a half an hour ago.
This is my
No,
girl-
wait, maybe she did.
She did. Well,
You can introduce me again. It's
Dad
fine.
just said something weird about her being my lover.
Oh yeah. Okay, no, let's skip it. I totally. It was my fault. I thought we got off topic and we never introduced Hannah. But
We never got on topic.
No.
Yeah, we
So-
never got onto it.
Mary Jane.
So now let's go back to the.
No, I think Mary Jane, you have to introduce Hannah now.
Yes.
This is my girlfriend, Hannah Elizabeth Wiley. She's from Rockland, Massachusetts. Yeah. She graduated Colby
fair.
College last year. She talked a little bit about her job earlier. We've been together for a year and a half.
19 months.
19 months. I'm serious about this. Can we modify the potato cannon in some way to be a hot dog cannon? So
You know it.
Or remember the beer drone
maybe
from
we,
the 4th
we
of
have
July?
a sign that has our Venmo on it. And so a boat can drop the Venmo and then they get the hot dog shot at them out of the cannon instead of us having to interact with the people at all.
You know it.
They Venmo, and the clip of the Venmo is like, we are in the red boat in Bathtub Bay. And then we shoot them a hot dog. And then we don't have to interact with them at all. Isn't that great?
You
Yes.
could be in charge of that subdivision of this endeavor.
Okay, the subdivision of the food truck that
Yes.
is the no contact division.
And the potato cannon. No, hot dog.
The
cannon.
hot dog cannon division.
Now I want to deliver the hot dogs with like a little remote control boat.
drone.
That happened on the 4th of July with
4th of July.
beer.
With a little boat. The drone or the boat?
The drone.
The drone.
Somebody had a drone
I did.
that
Yeah,
had
I think
been
I did see some
rigged
bad idea
up-
video of that.
rigged up to hold a beer, and then they could press a button and it would drop the beer. To
Yeah.
I'm going to make an editorial call here. I think the drone is basic.
True.
Get yourself.
The remote control boat would be better.
Yeah, but have
Yes.
you yet engineered a drone to be able to carry something and then drop it on command?
No, I saw a blah blah drone.
No, I think somebody rigged that up.
Well, I'm happy for him.
Okay,
I just think it's basic. Like an RC boat going by is way more interesting than a drone going by.
we can totally get a hot dog on.
You got hold the microphone for your face.
Okay, We could totally get a hot dog on an RC boat.
All right.
We could definitely get a hot dog in an RC boat, and that would be so fun. Don't
That'd
you
be
think?
so fun.
I mean, the only problem would be somebody would definitely grab it when it was going by.
True.
Well, yeah, but we would
Then
have
we
to
would
get good
shoot
at
them with another
then we
hot
shoot
dog.
them with another hot dog.
That's the use of the hot
That's-
dogs. to do that.
That's
It's actually a punishment. You get
security
shot.
department.
Yeah.
That's also your
Yeah,
subdivision.
It's not the hot dog you want.
No.
Various stakeholders in the potato cannons, because there are plural, have shot lots of things out of the potato cannons. I don't know that anybody's shot a hot dog out of one yet.
I think it would take careful engineering of the casing of the hot dog.
And also careful dosing of the propellant, because
Yeah.
which we're not really good at. It's
No.
like you put some propellant in, and sometimes
Walker did burn his eyebrows off.
he
Sorry,
looked
He looked down the barrel of the potato.
No, he
cannon.
looked down the breech of it, which is better, but he still looked down the breech of it and then hit the igniter. So I'm just saying that natural consequences are a good thing.
He has a selfie of him with like his eyebrows.
He was
were
showing us
legit
last
burned
weekend.
off.
He showed me.
Did they grow back? Did
Yeah.
they grow back like a different color or anything?
They grew back.
That'd be
Didn't
cool.
Sam burn his eyebrows?
He
off
was.
at some
We were
point?
at Hibachi, and that's why he brought it up.
Did Sam
Okay.
Green burn his eyebrows off at one point? Don't put this in the podcast.
I'm like, as a mom, I'm like,
You're like,
scan.
There were a lot of actions.
I don't know. Nothing's coming up.
Steph's
Okay.
like
Pull it from the hard
sounds
drive.
on brand, but I'm not sure.
But that doesn't mean the answer is no.
Right. Okay.
It may have happened and I forgot about it, which makes me a really gold star mom.
I think it was just like it was big lore amongst the children, which is why I remember it. We were like, "Oh, Sam
I
burned
mean,
his
there was
eyebrows off."
definitely, I don't know, you remember, like it was a full contact child rearing situation.
Full contact.
Early on, one of us like read something about how it's like great for kids to go try and start fires on their own, as long as they do it in the backyard.
Did you read that, or did you make that up in your head?
I probably made
No,
that
we
up.
found it after our kids had been doing it. We
Yeah.
found it validating, so we were super stoked. Yeah.
It's
Like
hard to
that,
start a
like-
fire, so like you're probably not gonna.
It entertained us for a really long time.
Yeah.
You said you can start a fire if you do it by rubbing two sticks together. And
Yeah.
and
I mean,
that probably entertained us for like
Yeah.
48 hours total over
Yeah.
that
So
we were
true.
doing it. Like,
great
just
one.
Literally just rubbing two sticks together trying to make it happen. Whatever.
we were talking on one of these. We were talking about when the houseboat was in South Bay,
Yes.
and you guys used to go over to your own island over there.
Yeah.
Remember that? We just, like,
That was
sent all
smart
the
too. You were
children.
like, go explore.
Explore.
Go
And you
explore
guys
the
did.
island.
Build a fort. Like just get the out of here.
And then we would go to the island and we wouldn't come back.
That was when Sam like had just learned to swim, except Sam swimming looked like looked like drowning. Like
Yes.
he was perfectly safe.
No, yeah, he was not, but he was doing it with the least effort he could
amount of
possibly
effort. Like he does everything.
use. So it
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to keep just my nostrils above the water,
Just his lips. Yeah.
just my lips, and then I can breathe and I'm not drowning, but it sure did look like
But
drowning.
it sure did look like it. It was like a lip snorkel situation. It was
Because then he actually barely had to engage any muscle or...
exactly.
If this episode doesn't end up getting named lip snorkel situation, it's gonna be a miracle
Lip snorkel.
situation.
I mean, it was terrifying. As a parent, it was so scary.
Yeah.
I remember
It's so true.
I remember one day when Sam was swimming like he was drowning with his lip snorkel situation. And I think he yelled something to somebody, like basically like, "Hey guys, wait up," or something like that. Except it sounded like he was crying for help because he was drowning, because he was like just his lips sticking out of the water. And his dad Andy like stood up, threw his sunglasses off, and dove in after him to save him. And like Sam was like, "What? I'm fine."
What are you doing? I'm just telling him to
I'm
wait up.
just doing the minimal amount of work to stay alive while
stay
transiting across. It's like, you know how we defined boating when we started, like we defined a boat when we started the podcast?
Yes.
Like Sam was like redefining swimming, which is the least amount of effort while still moving from place to place in the water.
Yeah. Swimming is actually just
It's energy efficient.
not drowning.
All right. We've really been on the lost channel today. Stephanie, do you have any other topics?
We should.
Well, I'm going to bring it back to travel.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where we started.
Where are you going, or where do you want to go? Do you
I'm
want to go?
looking at Quebec City. I'm looking hard at
MJ.
Quebec City.
We were thinking of going to Quebec City. We do
Do you
instead
guys
of buying.
I'm gonna take the Canadian train. You want to come?
There's a Canadian train.
There is.
Instead of buying each other Christmas presents, well, for 1 year now, we're going to try and make it a tradition as we just collectively spend money on an adventure or an activity. So last year we got a room at the Sugarloaf Hotel and I taught Hannah to ski. But this year we were thinking
God, it's so cute. It makes me want to throw up.
But this year we were thinking about Quebec. That'd be cool.
I'm so into it, and I like it because obviously it's not just water; it's our water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I share something that I recently discovered that I think is kind of a cool thing to realize now? When I was a freshman in high school, I took Spanish. I was in level 1 Spanish. But our level 1 Spanish teacher also taught French. And he's running this French trip and he didn't have enough students to go. So he was like, "Oh, do you want to come on this weekend trip to Quebec City?" And I was like, "Sure." And all the French students were practicing their French and stuff and everything. And I was just there vibing and hanging out and having a good time. And I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I liked it. Had a little bit of the old city, new city. You could go in between. And we went and we looked at the river. And
you're realizing now
then I was like, wow.
It's a city up on a cliff.
Yeah.
You look way down at the river.
It's so cool.
You're realizing now that
Party people, Bodhi Show listeners, if you want like an otherworldly experience and you don't want to get on a plane, go to Quebec City because it is deep Quebec. Mm-hmm. You are not guaranteed English and it is different. It's like you're in a European city built out of local limestone with all the architecture. There's a wall around the old city and a fort. There's the Plains of Abraham where a battle was fought, a huge battle was fought between the British and the French. And you're up on a cliff looking down at the St. Lawrence River. It is a remarkable place. And they have a massive winter festival.
Yeah, so we're definitely going there.
Yeah, we should. For sure.
Well, we'll keep in touch.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We're gonna end our segment and let you end the show
Thank
with
you
whatever
for coming,
topic.
you guys. It's always such a joy to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Lovely to talk with you, Steph.
You want some? You want an outro?
Yeah.
I can't believe we didn't talk about puke stories while they were here.
Oh, we didn't talk about puke stories. That's okay. They're leaving. In the Bodhi Show thread, of which there's a group chat that sort of spontaneously formed of Bodhi Show listeners, and it is appropriately not at all organized. But Christy came out with a puke story after last week's episode, where we played the interview with Mary Jane and her roommates talking about puking on boats and getting seasick. And her story was that she went on a sailing trip in college, and the first night the chef aboard decided to make split pea soup and served it, and then everybody threw it up, and somebody slipped and fell in it. There was a whole lot of that.
And then you added the interesting factoid that often split pea soup is what they use for special effects if they need to simulate puke.
Which is not true, actually. I made that up. Everybody went for it.
You look at me like believing the shit you say. Jeff is so smart. He knows so many things.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How does he know all these things? Well, he makes them up.
All right, what's next?
That's it. We have nothing else to say. Do you want to talk about sweaters?
No, for Brad.
Should we wrap, if you will?
No.
The show?
No.
We're talking about curling sweaters?
No, we shouldn't wrap the show like that. We're going to wrap the show like this.
It's the boat of the week, stable and sleek. Check out that vessel, baby, isn't she sweet? It's the boat of the week, the boat of the week. Ooh, how I love me, the boat of the week. Da 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 da. Hey, yeah, let's check out the boat of the week.
That was delightful. What's happening? Did you find a boat of the week?
Patrick.
Okay, hold on.
Patrick submitted one brief line. I'm appealing to Jeff's obsession with yellow for the win.
Oh.
Did you look at it? I don't look at the boat of the week submissions because I like to be surprised on air.
Oh, stop it right now.
Holy crow. 17-foot, 1977 Chris Craft Super Sport. The whole thing is yellow. $9,000. 1977 Chris Craft Super Sport. This Chris Craft has been well maintained with the original 225 GMV8 and only 728 hours.
Is that a lot or a little?
It's fine. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a little. But it's like you're bragging about 700 hours. But if it's the original 1977, I mean that's ridiculously low per year. New interior that matches the original Chris Craft specs. More than 60 hours spent repairing the crazing on the bottom of the boat. Original. So crazing is when you get little hairline cracks in the gel coat.
Oh, I actually know what you mean.
Yeah, crazing is also what. What's gonna happen when you guys are playing the big boaty mix and shooting hot dogs at people?
Crazing is an amazing word. It sounds like craisins and it sounds like crazy. I love it. Okay, we're gonna use that.
It's like turning crazy into a verb. We're crazing.
Oh, exactly.
Let's go crazing.
Also, it's actually verb form of crazy, which is amazing. Okay.
But somebody spent 60 hours dealing with their crazing. On the bottom of the boat.
Is that what it said? 60 hours?
60 hours spent repairing the crazing on the bottom. Let's give them like, okay, they might be exaggerating. Could be, they could have doubled it. 30 hours. That's still.
Why? But why would they? Why would they double it?
On the bottom, when you have a little bit, why would they double it?
Yeah. It sounds crazy anyway. And 30 hours sounds crazy. 60 hours sounds crazier. Why would they double that?
You're right. They're probably just being honest.
Yes, exactly.
about their crazing repair.
Yes.
Original yellow gel coat is in great condition. Has new black bimini. Black bimini top. Trailer has been updated with new wheels, tires, LED lights, bearing buddies, and bright yellow bearing buddy bras.
Does not say that.
You're right. It does not. But it'd be.
Now I've learned to be suspicious. But it'd be the right way.
It'd be so awesome if it did.
It doesn't even say bearing buddies, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
It doesn't say anything about bearing buddies or bras. Only 120 of these super sports were built. It's a real head turner. It's in
I want it.
Oklahoma, dude.
Why?
Why is it in Oklahoma? And
I don't understand is there even water in Oklahoma? I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a ton. No, you are such a like river snob. Sometimes you're like,
I'm being a snob right now. Yes,
why would I ever leave the river? It's the best river.
Okay, right. But it also has like a racing steering wheel.
All right, so this is a conventional utility layout. It's a straight inboard. By utility, I mean the cockpit's open. There's a big engine cover over the engine in the middle of the boat, and then there's a bench seat up front and a bench seat in the way back. Straight inboard meaning that there's a shaft that comes out the bottom with a propeller on the end of it. There is a huge swim platform. This is a ski boat.
Yes, it's a ski boat.
So it's from the era of the Centuries and the early Aqua Sports and the early Mastercrafts. Yeah. So it's got a really kind of almost a utilitarian design in the sense that it's a speedboat meant to tow a water skier, and that's about it. I really love the profile. Yeah. It's it doesn't have any tumble home. It's got a nice sort of squared off transom. So when you look at it from the back, it's sort of a rectangle. And then the shear line is flat, right? The shear line is the edge of the boat from where it transitions from sides to deck. And
that's what I like about it.
It's flat. There's no sweeping up or down or anything like that. So it just goes straight forward from the back of the boat to the front of the boat, except it flares out. So there's some nice flare up front. So that shear line, like when you're looking at it from the side on, it doesn't like sweep up. But if you sweep up or anything like that, but if you were to look at it from overhead and you'd look down, like there'd be almost like a raindrop shape if the tail of the raindrop was squared off.
Really?
Yeah, ton of shear.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ton of flare. So the deck in the front is really wide.
In the water, it's going to look like a dash.
A dash.
Meaning?
Oh, like a hyphen, just like straight.
Like a hyphen.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, if you're far away. And the hull is like a beautiful bright yellow. There's some good black stripes down at the waterline. Yeah. Black stripe at the boot.
Look at that. Are you looking at it like from the bow? Do you have the bow picture up?
Not yet.
Go one more, because there's some really cool rope handling mechanisms too that are making me happy.
There's some good pictures in this listing. It's up on Antique.
And it's got some little racing stripey, like a thin black detail on the bow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I got it. So there's, up in the bow, it's like, oh, so the bow deck is not super flat. Like it's rounded over.
Right.
It's rounded over from the top surface toward the edge a little bit, which is, that's a detail that the Lancers have that as well. That was
Very pretty.
That's
a very pretty detail.
Yeah. And it's got some like nice, chocks for the lines to go through. It's got,
That's the word, chocks.
it's got a couple of vents, like air scoopy vents, one on either side.
Chromey vents, yep.
In front
and
of the
a chromey
driver.
horn.
Yeah, chromey horn. I'm going to go back. The waterline stripe is black, and it's almost like horizontal also along with the shear line. And then there's like a pinstripe up closer to the top. That's a little black line up closer to the top, but it's definitely like understated, which is nice.
I thought that was just shadow, but I was wrong.
The interior is matching yellow to the hull with black accents. So like the front bench seat is like a straight up old school station wagon bench seat with 2 black stripes in the vinyl, and those black stripes are not continuous with, but they match up in sort of like the line from front to back with 2 black stripes on the vinyl padded top of the engine cover.
And then the back seats too.
And in the back seats too. So you get like 2 black stripes that run from actually I think they pick up the pinstripes that are up on the bow as well. And they run, so basically they run the length of the boat.
Yeah, it's it's smoking hot.
Yeah, dash is it's got like a nice applique wood veneer, a bunch of good old school 70s gauges, black faced.
Also wooden cup holder.
Yeah.
Situation.
And it's got like a racing steering wheel, like a I don't know a lot about muscle car steering wheels, but it's got a 3-spoke steering wheel where the outside is black plastic or rubber coated, and then the spokes are chromed with like holes cut out in them for like to make it light and high performance.
It's basically that steering wheel looks like it could have come right off of like a 1980s auto racing video game, to be honest.
Yeah, right. Yep, exactly.
That's what it's reminding me of.
In the arcade, yeah.
Yeah, arcade video game, yeah.
There's 4 cup holders at the back of the engine box, so that the 2 people sitting on the back bench seat can double fist.
2 drinks each. Yep.
Which they're gonna need to be careful with, because the towing pintle is on top of the engine box, and if they're sitting in the back and putting drinks in those cup holders, and somebody's like ripping hardcore slalom turns back and forth across the back of this boat, they're gonna get they're gonna clothesline by the tow rope. It's
a risk you have to take. I can't believe how hot this boat is.
This is really, really nice.
We need to get this boat. Although it rides like hell, right? Does it ride a little bit better because it's a little bit beefier than the ones we usually see?
I think this
is a little big and beefier than like the Century that I love.
Yeah.
Or
it's got
like
a
Nautique.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Could you repeat all that? Because I was talking over you.
Yeah, no, it's good. This one looks to me like it's a little bit beefier than like what we usually see for this kind of a ski boat, like the Century or like a little Ski Nautique. But I could be wrong. It could just be that we're seeing more of it because it's not in the water. But it looks to me like it's a little bit bigger, and it makes me hope that it rides a little better. What do you think?
I think you're right. Centuries and Nautiques, they have almost flat bottoms at the back, and they got lower freeboard. They're just sort of a smaller overall boat. This looks like a scaled down Lancer, or maybe even, they took the Lancer mold and made a ski boat out of it. So it is beefier, and I'm confident that it would ride better because I'm looking at there's a picture of it from the stern while it's out of the water, so I can see the V.
Yep, I saw that too.
The V at the back.
Yeah, it's got a V in the back.
That's probably a 20-degree dead rise, which is a decent amount, and that would carry all the way forward. Actually, it would get sharper at the front, at the bow, and so you've got a decent V on that, which means it's going to be harder to get up on plane, and it's going to throw more of a wake, but it's going to ride better. It's called the Class of 77. Hey,
it's so hot. Look at it in the water. Once I see it in the water, I can see that it definitely is. It's more boat than what we traditionally see as our little ski boats, which I love the look of the little ones, but there's just only so much you can do with them, with the flat bottom.
Yeah, it's on a nice bunk trailer with mag wheels. This is a good boat.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
The interior work, the the bits I can see of the dash and the gauges, like they're not hammered. The pictures of the engine, like, you know, it's been in this boat since 1977, but it's a small block. I think it was a Chrysler. Let's see. No, GM. So it's a small block V8. It's a 350. Those things run forever. And oh man, that big swim platform's nice. Although the swim platform's off.
I know.
The swim platform is off in all the pictures out of the water.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
Then it's back on when the last one out of the water and then in the water. I love the enormous swim. Where's the ladder though? Just saying.
That's a big
There's
deal.
no ladder.
Oh, swim platform on the boat so it's got a removable swim platform so you could store it. This is assuming this boat is in the same condition as is in these pictures, listed for $9,000. Freshwater boat, low hour, you know, bomb proof small block Chevy with this redone interior. I mean, that's like a $5,000 interior job.
I think that's an amazing deal.
$9,000 for this thing. That is a hot boat at a good price.
I want it so much.
It's not a 350, it's a 305. So no biggie.
I don't think I care about that.
You do because 350, you're going to get the cheapest parts and repairs on that, but the 305 is not too far behind, so it's fine.
Oh, I do care about that. But I think that either of those will be plenty of motor for me.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I was thinking more about this boat's going to go as fast as you want it to go. It's not going to be like a super like halt and butt speedboat, but this is a really, really good little boat, right? And if you're new to boating and you start learning in a straight inboard, it's not going to be a big deal. If you've been driving outboards or IOs for a while, it's going to be a bit more of a learning curve. But I would buy this thing sight unseen. I would talk to whoever's selling it and just get a feel for how straight up they were. I'd ask for like some like kidnap ransom pictures of the boat in front of like a current newspaper just to make sure that it was yeah. I would buy this thing sight unseen. This is a good boat. And now
Patrick wins again.
Yellow.
It's so beautiful.
Patrick,
I love it.
Patrick, you and Captain David are like conspiring to freaking.
I mean, we did ask for it, but
the good news is I don't have any more dock space, and I don't really have any more storage space. So I don't think that I could buy these boats, but
I could sell my boat and get the yellow boat though.
You could. You totally could.
That would be a nice next move for me.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I love it so much.
We can make that happen.
Okay. We're going to talk more offline.
Oh, that makes it even better. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick, your submission wins Boat of the Week. And if Steph buys it, it wins Boat of the Year.
Stable and sleek. Check out that vessel, baby. Isn't she sweet? It's the boat of the week.
That might be the criteria to win Boat of the Year, because Gabe pointed out that BOATY is pretty much boat of all the year, boaty. So if one of us buys a boat from Boat of the Week submissions, it wins Boat of the Year.
Which boat of the we have to do Boat of the Year in January because that'll be a full year, right?
Yeah, our first episode aired on February 19th, something like that. So maybe then we'll pick Boat of the Year.
I can't wait. This has been a delightful afternoon. Thank you.
A winding lost channel of an episode. And I'm going to try and leave as much of the content in as possible when I edit, because if people are driving to Thanksgiving, then they have something to listen to. Hey,
yeah, we should stay on for another 2 hours.
Listeners, we are very, very grateful that you listen, and it makes all of this so much fun. And we're like Steph said, I'm very grateful that we make this thing that we make. And even if nobody listened, I would have fun doing this.
But hearing from people makes it extra fun.
It totally does. It totally does. I'm grateful that Mary Jane and Hannah came on. I'm grateful you're feeling better.
Amen.
That you're actually alive instead of mostly dead.
I know. Dare to dream.
You've been hacking up fewer lungs while we've done this. As it's gone on. Progress. All right. That's it. We are.
Yo ho ho, that's it for the Bodie Show. Pack a cooler, grab the lines. Let's go, go, go. Yo ho, ho, ho.
That's it for the Bodie Show.
Stay floaty.
Everybody, go back for seconds. And we're out.